Stick time. Stick out. Stick time. Stick out. Stick time. Stick out. Stick time. Stick time.
And hockey.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 23 of Stick Talk Hockey. I'm your host, Tiko. This is my co-host.
I'm yours truly.
And the playoffs are about to start.
God, it's exciting, ain't it?
Oh, man. This is the best time of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like every single year I get to this point where it's like you watch all the hockey by around game like 65. The play diminishes a little bit except for in the wild card races and stuff. And then you watch the first game of the playoffs and you're like, oh, yeah, this is what hockey is.
Absolutely. I think the duality and like where I pay attention to hockey is really funny around game 60, 65.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden I start really caring about all these duster teams I've been making fun of for the last like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I've done nothing but say how horrendous Calgary is. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I wonder if they're going to do it though.
Got to catch every game.
Yeah. I was like tuned in.
And they couldn't.
And no.
We should talk about that a little bit first. The Flames miss.
Yeah. You want to dive right into that?
Dude, I'm not a huge Flames guy. I was kind of rooting for them, just because I like a lot of their players. I'm not going to lie. I was not a Johnny Hockey fan. He's gone. Matthew Tkachuk just annoyed me to no end, even though he's a fantastic player. He's gone. Toffoli, Markstrom, Chris Tanev, Troy Stetcher from Richmond. These are all ex-Canucks. Blake Coleman.
Love him.
Yeah. Even Jonathan Huberdeau. I love Jonathan Huberdeau. So I was kind of cheering for them. And Nick Ritchie in the shootout.
What a absolutely bizarre trust your gut coach call.
Season on the line.
I mean, I get it. He was like on a little bit of a streak.
Yeah.
He saved a few games for you, but is he like the guy? I don't think so.
With the season on the line, you're putting the puck on Nick Ritchie's stick.
God, I'd hope not. This sounds like just a poorly scripted AI.
I know. And I do think, like, honestly, the Flames were close, and I think they were close to not just making that wild card spot, like they were close to being a really good team. Huberdeau had obviously a historic fall off, 115 points to 55 points, historically bad fall off of points. But I do think you need to change the coach, but I don't think you need to tweak too much on that roster.
That's tough because the coach is in such good standing with the GM and with all of ownership. Like they love him. He's just like good old Alberta stock. And like
I almost think you promote him.
Yeah,
Bring in a real head coach. Well, not that Sutter's not a real head coach, but like move everyone up one step here and remove Sutter from the day-to-day with the team, make him the GM, and bring in a new head coach with a completely different mindset.
That's actually a really great idea because I think the biggest issue that Calgary ran into this year was that they brought in so many flashy, attractive pieces, but they don't play flashy, attractive hockey.
Not under Daryl Sutter, they don't.
Like really think about like they brought in Huberdeau and they brought in Uyghur.
Yeah.
Two absolute lightning in a bottle players. Like Uyghur on your blue line should have been an absolute bombshell success, and he struggled just as much.
Yeah. I mean, Uyghur, he performed better than Jonathan Huberdeau did.
I'd definitely. But he's also a defenseman, so he's just going to fall into that game plan that Sutter has much more.
He's much more of a stay-at-home guy, right? You don't need to rely on him the same way to put up the huge point numbers that you do with Jonathan Huberdeau, right?
No, exactly. And like, I don't know. It's just like a different player than Johnny Hockey. Like Johnny Hockey's just like
the same.
He's a snipe show. He's gonna score from anywhere, no matter what you give him. And Huberdeau's more of a playmaker. He's gonna be more situational. You're gonna have to help him with that in the format.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm actually a big proponent of Bruce Boudreau into Calgary. I think he would breathe a breath of fresh air into that locker room. So that's something to keep an eye on.
That'd be really interesting. Do you think that Boudreau just like does like a whole trip around the Western Conference before he retires?
No.
You sure?
Sorry, that's
He's keeping a good rate right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere unless he really wants to.
Fair.
That was a disaster in Vancouver. I think he's probably happy to be back on a panel talking about the games and shooting the shit.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be happy to get out of that situation? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare. I would be scared of coaching again, ever.
Yeah.
Moving on. What were you guys pitch?
End of an era. Capitals and the Penguins both miss.
Man, hockey changed.
Truly the end of an era.
I grew up watching Pens and Caps in the playoffs every single year.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre.
Mm-hmm. You know, we had this for later on, but I think we have to put it in here because we talked about the Penguins. But Hextall and Burke both out right away.
Yeah, and do you know what? Not shocked.
You have to. I mean, I'm still on Team Inside Job here. You take Hextall out of Philly and put him in Pittsburgh, and they miss the playoffs for the first time in almost 20 years.
You know,
that's a flyer at heart right there, baby.
Yep. That's a winning attitude. He may have lost, but he won.
Yeah, so I mean that's tough. Not surprising, but I also don't really think that Hextall and Burke, I don't think they were given a hand that could be successful. You know what I mean? They were told to retool and win at the same time, and you can't really do either.
No, and I think that just the way that the market was shaped at the time, like everything that was attractive to what would fit with their system or their players was like 35 or older.
Yeah.
Like this is an old ass team, and believe it or not, it mattered at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. They fell off hard. They needed to win back-to-back games against two of the weakest teams in the entire league, in the Chicago Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets.
I don't know that I've seen a bigger regular season choke than dropping that Blackhawks game.
I was shocked. I didn't even watch the game because I went through the app and I was checking everything for what I had to keep track of that day, and I was like, that's a win. Yeah. That's a win. I'm not going to bother. Like.
So yeah, it's really bizarre thinking about, you know, the fact that we're going into a playoffs this year that doesn't have Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin involved.
Yeah, absolutely bizarre. And honestly, it's kind of refreshing. I don't hate it, but I really hope it's not a trend. Like I want them to play more playoff hockey before they're gone.
I completely agree with that.
Like I really hope as much as like the hockey sense in me is just like Pittsburgh needs to just rebuild. Yeah. They probably shouldn't have signed those extensions like in the first place. It's fun to be whimsical and like do one for the team, one more hurrah. But I don't know. The Chicago Bulls ripped apart the whole team and we ask why, but you know.
Okay. Let's get into the playoffs.
Let's do it.
We're going to run through the first round here and do our predictions. And for the first time ever, we're going to get producer Austin in on some predictions as well.
And real quick, it's 12:41 a.m. on Sunday morning.
That's right.
Which means that the clock's rolled over onto producer Austin's birthday.
Yep, that's right. Happy birthday, Austin.
We're making you work on your birthday.
Yeah.
We haven't unionized yet, so.
No, we haven't unionized yet. So.
Here we are.
Okay, let's Austin, can you pull up? Oh, you have the playoff matchups there. Okay, so we're just gonna go down the list. Let's start with the West.
Okay, yeah.
Colorado, Seattle. Who do you got?
Colorado, for sure.
You taking the Avs?
Yeah, they're beat up. They don't have Landeskog, but they still have a whole lot in that repertoire. And Rantanen's having an insane season, man.
Yeah. So is Nathan.
Yeah, and he's been like, it's been a quieter season. He hasn't been dominating the headlines the way that he normally has in seasons past. But I think that that's still yet to come. I don't think that he's hit a decline. I think he's just waiting.
I agree with you there. So, like that, with McKinnon for me, like the guy has 107 points and he only played 70 games. That's not being talked about enough.
Yeah. And it's only because like you look at the point standings, it's insane this year how many like
it's ridiculous
high scoring players we have.
Remember when Jamie Benn won the Art Ross with 87 points?
Yes.
Now we have 10 over 100.
Insane.
Craziness.
3 of them on the Oilers. Like,
okay, so you're taking the Avs in what?
5.
Taking the Avs in 5. You know, I think Seattle is a better team than I gave them credit for at the beginning of this year.
Agree.
I think they're going to give Colorado a hard time. I think I'm taking Colorado in 6 here, but not an easy 6. not an easy 6.
I agree with that. I don't think it'll be a walk in the park, but I think it will. I think it'll be night and day when we see them play through 6 games. We're going to be like, Colorado's very clearly the better team here.
Right.
Like, it's not going to be like, oh, they squeaked it out. They squeaked it out. Like, if we did another 7-game series, it might have gone another way. I feel like it'll still be definitively Colorado.
All right. Producer Austin, what do you think, pal?
Yeah, I'm going to say Colorado in 5.
Avs in 5.
Yeah, like Trilly said, even without Landy, the Avs just have way better team, too much star power. But I think, the Kraken have a lot of heart, so I think they're going to steal like 1 game. They're going to get 1 game in there.
Fair enough. All right. Trill, let's move on to Dallas, Minnesota.
Dallas Mini. You can go first on this one. What's your shot?
This one I actually think is really close as well. Dallas has more of the top end talent, right? And they have the veterans. Like, they got Jamie Benn, they got Tyler Seguin, they have Ottinger and Heiskanen, Jason Robertson, all of these players. But their depth, that bottom 6 is dicey to say the least. It's dicey to say the least in Dallas. So Minnesota definitely has a lot more depth, but without the top end talent. I mean, they have Kirill Kaprizov, but not a whole lot of game breakers. And depth matters in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, I think Dallas is going to pull through because they have such elite players at every position right now. I'm going to take them in 7, and I think it's going to be a close series.
Fair. This is like a battle of the 2 teams I don't believe in. So
Yeah.
It's funny because I said both of them wouldn't go anywhere, so now I have to pick one to go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
I didn't even
ironic
think about
in itself.
that, but yeah, you did say that about both those teams.
I'm going to take Minnesota over Dallas, though, just simply off of the way that they tooled this team. They had some cap issues, but instead of going for the obvious play nowadays, which is quick, fast superstars and high, contracts, and just they signed the guys that they knew were going to turn out, and then they just got some really, really tough meat and potatoes guys that are just going to grind it out. And I think they're just going to hammer Dallas through this. I think it'll be a really, really nasty 7-game series.
I agree.
And I think that Minnesota is going to come out by the skin of their teeth, and it's going to be strictly the physical side that's going to pull it through for them.
Very, very fair. Very fair. Minnesota, I think you're right. They should get some credit for how they've built that team under the restraints they've been under.
Yeah, it's impressive to say
Yeah.
the least. Where they finished just in the points alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like they're in the 3rd spot, but like they still had a very dominant season. Let's not get that confused at all.
Yeah.
Austin, what do you have for this?
Yeah, I got Dallas in 6. Dallas, they've got offense, they've got defense, they've got goaltending, they've pretty much got everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Minnesota's like a pretty hard-nosed team, so I think it's going to be they're really going to give it to them, but I think Dallas will take it. 6.
Nice. Spitting facts, Austin. I agree. Anyways,
Fair enough.
Vegas and Winnipeg. What's your read?
That's another tough one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Vegas. Allegedly, Mark Stone's gonna be back for game 1.
That's what I'm hearing.
So that could be huge. Winnipeg's still dinged up.
Yep.
Ehlers ate a pretty mean shoulder.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he's really feeling right now.
Mhm.
He'll probably be okay for game 1, or they'll tell us at least.
Yeah.
I just don't know that Winnipeg has it in them this year. They have some really great defensemen with emerging seasons in Morrissey and Pionk. They've been consistent for their whole career, but they're really starting to tick upwards now.
Yeah.
They've
A
been-
lot of their team is. Yeah.
Right? But I just feel like they're missing those pieces, and they weren't aggressive enough in the deadline, regardless of how much goaltending trouble people say Vegas may be in. I think that Adin Hill will do just fine, and if Adin Hill doesn't do just fine, they have Jonathan Quick.
Yeah, that could be their secret weapon.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we always forget about just how explosive Jonathan Quick is in the playoffs. It's a different breed of goalie.
I completely agree, and I don't understand why people forget that when he did it again as recently as last year.
Yeah, and that was a terrible season. We thought he was washed and done. We were talking about him getting cut from the team in the summer.
Yeah.
He earned his job back there.
Quick showing up in the playoffs is like Tiger making the cut. It just happens
Absolutely.
every year.
Without fail. Just I'll see him Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
That red
No
and
matter
black
how
is
bad
marching.
he looks on Thursday, he'll be there Sunday.
Absolutely. Like, there's just no way about it. He'll show up and he'll make a big save if you need him to. He's going to keep your team in a couple of games.
Yeah.
And honestly, I trust Jonathan Quick more than I would trust Hellebuck in a high pressure situation. I love
too.
Hellebuck.
Me too.
I love the way he sees the game.
Mhm.
His reflexes are top notch. His
Mhm.
athleticism is top 5 in the league for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I don't see that the Winnipeg Jets are going to be able to bottle up the Knights enough to have Hellebuck do his job.
Right.
To the effect that they need.
So what are you taking here?
I got Vegas in 6.
'Kay.
But it won't be as close of a 6 as some people think.
Okay. I think I'm going to take the underdog here.
Yeah?
I think I'm going to take the Jets in 7. And I don't really believe in that. I think this is such a close series. It's going to be an awesome series to watch. The Jets, though, even though they stumbled into the playoffs, they had a great start, which I didn't believe in, and a fall off that I do believe in. I also just we were talking about 60 game mark. I kind of don't care anymore. I think a lot of the players kind of stopped caring at that point, and Connor Hellebuck is likely going to be the best player in this series. Jonathan Quick, I would maybe bet on more, but I don't even know if he'll play. And Hellebuck has been fantastic. I think that this is a bit of a sleeper series. And just off the fact that I kind of want the upset to happen, even though I like Vegas more, I'd like to see Jack Eichel go far in the playoffs. I'm going to take the Jets in 7 here. Austin, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm going a little bit off the board here. I'm taking Vegas in 4.
Wow.
And this really just comes down to the fact that I have zero belief in Winnipeg. I just don't see it. And I think Eichel, it's going to be his first playoff. I think he's going to be pumped up. I think he's going to pop off. And yeah, I think they're just going to sweep him.
I love it. That
Winnipeg.
is what I want to happen.
Yeah.
I want to see Jack Eichel win 4 games for Vegas in this series. That's what I want to see. I would love for that. I'd love that.
You kind of scraped on it, and Austin also kind of scraped on it. I just don't believe that the Winnipeg Jets have, what would you say, the intestinal fortitude to really muster through a series. This is a team that we've had nothing but nonstop, more than rumors about having locker room issues.
Right.
And they still look like a dead team out there. They don't look that inspired to play for each other. They're just going through the motions. They're a team that has a job and they do their job and they do it fine, but no one's going the extra step for anyone out there.
I completely agree. I will say this, I think that matchup wise, I have Winnipeg winning this series, but if Winnipeg wins, they're not winning in the second round, whereas Vegas could.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the last one here in the West. Edmonton, LA, the rematch.
I'm taking Edmonton, man.
Yep.
They're just way too good this year. McJesus, McDavo, the Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
He is.
You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, you heard of him?
Right.
Jesus, he is ripping them. What did he finish the season with?
153.
153.
Couple. It's a couple.
My God. And then you got Draisaitl.
Yeah.
I've heard that they're probably going to be double shifting them from time to time, so you're going to see them both on the ice at the same time from time to time, which is also horrifying.
Yeah.
They had the most effective power play in the league.
In NHL history, 33%.
That's insane.
Yeah.
33%?
Yeah.
That's out of this world.
Yeah.
That means 1 out of every 3 is in.
Yeah.
You take 20
Pretty much,
penalties, that's
Yeah.
you're boned.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So, how many?
I'm going to take Edmonton in 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to be wrong, but that's okay.
I don't believe that Korpisalo's been with this team long enough to actually figure out how to play for them effectively.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a shaky start there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Copley's lost his confidence because it's very
Oh, yeah.
obvious that he's getting replaced.
Yeah.
And that extension is just for him to fill a backup spot for the time being.
Right.
I think that what they've done here is very reminiscent of what Vancouver did with their Luongo situation and their Schneider situation, which is
Okay.
you had two very good goalies and you've made them both incredibly uncomfortable in a situation and a time frame where you need them to be the most comfortable as possible.
Yeah. You know what though? Like, I think the part that you're sleeping on is that no team held McDavid as well as LA did last year. Philip Deneau, Anze Kopitar, even Adrian Kempe, those guys play some of the best defense I've seen out of forwards.
Yeah, they play some hard-nosed hockey and they know how to get into the corners. Like, they play playoff hockey for sure, and they have the pedigree to do it.
Like, I mean, you're never going to stop Connor McDavid, right? Nobody in the world is going to stop Connor McDavid. However, I think this is going to be a hard-nosed series. LA is going to have some fight to them. I can't even come close to saying that they're going to win because they didn't last year, and I don't actually know if he was in that series, but Draisaitl was hurt most of the playoffs last year. He's healthy now.
Yeah. Oh, God, he looks just as good.
McDavid's humming even more. They don't have Mike Smith. Not that I believe in Stuart Skinner, but they don't have Mike Smith.
Oh, and you got the Nuge having the emerging season, too.
Nuge has been fantastic. They have Matthias Ekholm this year. I'm taking the Oilers in 6.
Conservative, I like it. It's fair.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see it go 7. I actually wouldn't.
That's fair. I would be just as shocked to see this go 7 as I would be 4, but I need to have a 4 somewhere in there because a sweep is going to happen, and I don't think it's happening in the East. So
fair enough. Fair enough. Austin, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, this one was probably the toughest one for me to decide for the West. But I'm taking LA in 7. I like their depth more than the Oilers. I know the Oilers have like Jesus and Dry, but I think the depth is really going to come into play. And I think they're going to be extremely motivated to get vengeance from last year.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Edmonton takes this series, but I think it's going to go 7 for sure.
All right. I like it.
My other concern is I don't think this LA team is a team that's truly found their identity yet.
You don't?
Not really. It's like shades of the old LA. It's got a whole bunch of new young guys that still are like finding their stride or finding a place in the lineup or the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And the backbone of the locker room, which was Jonathan Quick, is gone.
Do you think he was, though?
I think so.
He
He meant a lot to a lot of players.
I'm sure he did, but I feel like Kopitar and Drew Doughty are much more the backbones of a locker room. I don't really think that goalies are the backbone of any locker room, to be honest. Most guys don't look at goalies that way. That's why they're not captains, except Luongo was, and that went horrendously.
That's very fair. I haven't heard of too many teams like crying over goalies being traded though either. Like that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
It did happen. So like I don't know. Like
Carolina and the Islanders. This is another one where I'm taking the underdog. I'm taking the Islanders in 7.
Ew.
And this is another one where I feel like I'm contradicting myself. Like I feel like I'm being a hypocrite because I tend to not want to put stock into the end of a season. Right?
Yes.
Like the Canes have been terrible lately. The Islanders buzzed their way into a playoff spot. And I don't want to put a lot of weight on that because it's the end of the season and the playoffs are a fresh slate. However, the Islanders are sort of built to beat the Carolina Hurricanes, and they have Ilya Sorokin.
It's true.
The Carolina Hurricanes have nowhere near an Ilya Sorokin.
They also have a Bo Horvat.
And they're about to get a Matt Barzal.
It's pretty scary.
For a team that like this team, as much as we talk about how dusty they are, and Kyle Palmieri and Zach Parise and Matt Martin, these are all guys that have been in the league for a very long time. They've been through a lot of playoffs. They've won a lot of playoff games.
I was just gonna say too, like Palmieri's been absolutely rocking out lately. Like he is back onto his form. Oddly enough, Zach Parise had a 20-goal season, which was like weird as hell.
Yeah.
Sorry, old Devil's gold, but you know, JG Pageau, like you know, another great player that's just a rough playoff built guy. Like I'm gonna match you on this. As much as like it's disgusting to think about, and
I know.
it really makes me upset to be like that'll happen.
I know.
I think that everything I said, like I would sooner stand by everything I said about the Hurricanes absolutely fumbling on the deadline. Yeah, like you needed to look deeper into your locker room and realize, like, do that gut check and be like, without Pacioretty, we're screwed. Yeah, we need something else for this playoff run.
They're not strong enough up top. They're really not.
No, I just don't see it. Even like, and these guys are small too. Like they're not the biggest players. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like Martin Necas is a great player, but he's still he's not like a very physical dude. He's not going to be slamming into the end boards and making that presence and absolutely corralling the loose pucks in the slot. Like he's going to be getting jarred around.
Yeah,
is Puljujarvi going to turn
agree.
it on?
I agree.
Puljujarvi's still not found twine really. He's found the bar a bunch.
No, he hasn't even looked that great, honestly.
No, which sucks because like I really wanted this to work.
Yeah,
for him.
we've been pushing that for Puljujarvi.
Puljujarvi's like my Jeff Hardy. Like he just keeps getting chances, and I just keep wanting him to work out. It's like, please.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Islanders in 7.
Yep, I'm with that. I'm with that entirely.
Austin,
hard-nosed series. It's gonna be a bump and grind.
Yeah, Austin, how you feel about that?
I am taking the Hurricanes in 5, actually.
Oh, okay.
And that's mostly just because the Islanders are boring as hell, and I hate watching them play hockey.
Understandable.
And I don't want them to win this series.
Understandable. We are going to be lucky to see 2 goals a game out of this series.
Thanks, Lou.
Yeah. Hey, I completely respect that take. Completely respect it.
I love it. That made the Devils fan of me very happy because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Up next.
Hey.
Devils and the Rangers.
Devils in 4. I'm kidding. Devils
what
in
is
7.
It? Battle of the
Metropolitan
across the river.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah, the river rivelry or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. River rivalry. Wow, that's tough to say.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast. I dare you. Not at 1 a.m.
Trill, I'm gonna let you go first. You're the Devils guy.
The Devils fan of me wants to be like,
Devils in 4.
Devils in 4. Rags are trash.
Yeah.
Ask me about Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
Ask me about Capo Caco. Hulkamania's running wild, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. I really think this is going to be a really tough series, and I'm nervous about it. I'm going to say Devils in 7. Yeah. I think they're built a little bit more for it. You look at the head-to-head matchup, and the Devils won 3, lost 1 in overtime. Rangers just were not cutting it as far as like anything.
Yep.
The Devils controlled the flow of most of the games.
Yep.
You're looking at Luke Hughes being added to the lineup now. That's some crazy speed.
Yeah.
Provided he doesn't make any like jackass plays, which it's hard to count out. He's a young kid.
Of course.
Rookie player.
Yeah, of course.
But man, that goal he scored the other night was something special.
Yeah.
The first Hughes to Hughes goal.
Yeah.
For the game winner.
Yeah. It really was. It was special.
To end the season,
yeah.
Going into the playoffs with nothing but confidence after like an absolute comeback against the Capitals of all teams too. I think they were down 4-1. So it's hard not to just believe in the Devils as much as the Rangers look stacked with Kreider, Zibanejad, Kane, Panarin, Trocheck, Tarasenko. Nasty.
Yeah.
Going to the third line and they got Hedl, Kako, and Lafreniere, 2 first-round picks. Jesus.
2 first overall picks.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
First and second.
First and second, yeah.
But still.
2 top 5 picks, yeah.
Insane. Absolutely
yeah.
insane.
I mean, this one's a coin flip for me, and it's must watch hockey. Like through and through. If you're only gonna watch one series and you don't have a dog in the fight, this is the one to watch. I'm taking the Rangers in 7.
Ow.
I know that hurts. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to the Puck Wave, and I'm sorry to the Brat Pack. However, I think just at the top of this lineup, the star power here, I think Patrick Kane's going to turn it up to another level, as he always did in the playoffs. I think Igor Shesterkin is the best goalie in this series by a long shot.
Yep.
I think the Rangers went 3 rounds last year. This is fresh in their minds. They know how to get through this. I think the Devils are built to win as well. And I think the Devils are going to give them a run for their money, and I won't be surprised to see the Devils take this series. But picking one, I'm taking the Rangers in 7.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a coin flip when you get down to it, and I really do believe in the Devils' defense and their ability to lock down that top line, though. I think that just if you're able to run Siegenthaler, Hamilton, Ball's a big dude too, so he's immovable.
Yeah,
like he's gonna make screening whoever's in net, whether it's our Hibachi King Vanacek or Blackwood. God, I hate him. Get him out of this franchise, please.
Dougie Hamilton versus Adam Fox is going to be a treat to watch.
Absolutely, and the explosiveness of Luke Hughes, I just can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
And Jack he's had a 99-point season. He almost was the first Devil to score 100, and he's just getting started.
Yep.
I think that he's going to find another gear here. He's built for the playoffs. That's a kid that wants to win, and I think that he's inspiring everyone around him every day with just the way that he's leading that locker room right now.
Yeah.
So,
Austin?
Yeah, this is going to be a great series. Definitely the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Rangers in 6. Same kind of thing about the Avs. I just think there's too much star power like this top 9, the Rangers. It's disgusting.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So I do think that, although I do think that the Devils do have a bit of an edge when it comes to defense, but I think there's just too many game changers on the Rangers lineup. But it's going to be a great series. Yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
Luke Hughes is going to embarrass the shit out of Capo Caco and Alexis Lafreniere.
Yeah.
And send them home crying.
We'll see, Trill. We'll see. I hope he does. I will say.
Quote me.
Okay. You're quoted. Boston, Florida in 4. No, I'm playing.
Wow. I just felt like I got hit by a train. Holy Christ, I didn't see that coming. You get a license plate for that car?
Yeah. I'm taking Boston in 5 here. I think the league is too close for sweeps, and I don't think we'll see one in this first round. However, the Florida Panthers are going to get friggin' steamrolled because they're not the real deal. They're really not. They don't scare me at all. Matthew Chuck has been a massive bright spot on that team. Don't get me wrong, but like the Sam Reinhart, Verhey, Barkov first line doesn't do anything for me. Their depth does nothing for me. Their defense, yeah, sure, okay. Boston's going to eat them alive.
They have Giovanni Smith dressed on their fourth line, and he was a healthy scratch in Detroit. I just don't see a team that has like a healthy scratch dressed on their fourth line, like that kind of depth. When you look at Greer, Hathaway, Luco, Coyle, Hall, like Jesus, Taylor Hall on your third line.
I don't know.
Like, get out of here.
Boston's going to steamroll them. I think that the Panthers, I think they'll steal a game, but they will be lucky to steal that game. And Boston's a juggernaut. We all know it.
Yeah, and Pasternak's having a career year as well. And
yeah.
Again, another one of those quiet things, because you hear about the Bruins over Pasternak, and you hear about McDavid over Pasta, and yada, yada, yada.
If Connor McDavid didn't exist, he'd probably win the Hart, Pasternak.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and disagree with that.
Yeah.
100%. Austin? Oh, I didn't even give mine. I'm going to give Boston 4. Sweep.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Trill. I think it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Florida, they're pretenders in my opinion. Boston's just too good in every category. And it's also kind of their, I think this is kind of like their last dance type of thing. Like,
yeah,
they kind of know, like that group kind of knows like this is their last shot at another cup. So I think it's going to be ugly.
I love it. Yep. All right, one more series.
Can we check the goaltending on Florida really quick? Because they're still riding Bob, aren't they?
Kind of. Alex, Leon,
But yeah,
and Bob.
Yeah, get out of here. Fraudulent
Hockey team.
Eric Stahl,
Yeah.
second line defenseman.
that
Or was I his
second unit.
second unit? Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. One more series. Toronto, Tampa. Where are you going?
Wow, that's tough. I'm
Yeah.
actually going Toronto on this one because I don't think Tampa has it anymore. I think they're missing something this year. They're a step off, and they haven't found the stride yet. And it's 82 games.
Mhm.
You had 82 games, and you still haven't found it.
Mhm.
You kind of found it around 40. You fell off at 50. I don't know. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Even with Vasi and net.
Yeah.
The absolute game maker, game breaker.
Game breaker through and through. I think. Wait. What are you taking?
Leafs in 6.
This is that I'm taking the exact same as you, which is a little bit upsetting because I'd like for us to be at odds. However, I'm taking the Leafs in 6, but if it goes 7, it will not go Toronto's way.
That's fair. I would have to agree. I just think that if you put Vasi in a game 7 situation, you have to put the money on the house wins.
Exactly.
House wins every time.
If it gets to game 7, Tampa Bay will not lose that game. However, I agree. I think that Toronto has such a strong team all the way through this year. The additions they made at the deadline did wonders for them. I'm not going to put too much stock, like I said, into either of these teams' end of season. But on paper, if all of these guys in Toronto are going, they're going to do it. And I feel like I'm taking freaking crazy pills, taking Toronto in the first round again. However, I think this might be the year.
I think it is the year. And to make it interesting, since we both took Toronto, and, I will say that Toronto's going to win this series, but the series will also not have a game that isn't decided by 1 goal. I think it's going to be that deadly close.
Really?
Yeah.
Including or excluding empty netters?
Excluding.
Yeah.
Of course. But I think it's going to be like last minute of play every single game.
I like
down
that. I
to
think
the
that's a
wire.
good prediction. I like that.
Austin?
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa in 7 for this one. I mean, it's the Leafs. What more can you say? They're going to do what they
Yeah.
always do. They're going to blow it.
Habs guy Austin as well.
I mean, the memes are just going to write themselves like they always do with the Leafs. So, and I think like Tampa they know how to get it done. All these players are super experienced.
Yeah, I think with Tampa, when you look at their lineup, we can talk about how they got worse from last year and from a couple years ago and yada 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 yada. But every line has at least one of those guys that's been there this whole time.
Yeah.
You from Stamkos point, Kucherov on the first line to Cirelli and Killorn on the second, Nick Paul and Hagel on the third, Maroon and Perry on the fourth. I mean, like they have all still been there, save for a couple guys that have subbed in here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this though. I would like to actually see the Leafs win this series. I just don't think that they will.
Okay, valid.
Because I just want them to like finally do something.
Yeah. I think we'd all like to see that a little bit, except for the like dedicated Leafs haters. I think at a certain point you gotta hope that the storyline actually happens.
Yeah, like I really hope that they do complete the story before everything absolutely implodes as far as their cap and their never-ending plethora of picks that they seem to be able to throw out the door every year.
Yeah.
But
Although it would be hilarious if Matthews leaves after next season. And we see like an entire Matthews Tavares saga that goes without a single playoff win.
ouch.
Would be hilarious.
It would be, but
it would also be sad.
it would be horrifying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I believe too much in the acquisitions that Toronto made to believe that they're gonna just flub it away.
I agree with that completely.
Like they know what time it is.
Ryan O'Reilly is like a picture perfect addition for that team.
Oh, he's deadly.
Yeah.
He's deadly.
Okay, well that wraps up our first round matchups.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting, dude. I am so amped.
Yeah, I'm beyond happy. Playoff hockey is what I live for. Like,
Tomorrow night, well, I guess tonight. Technically, it's Sunday right now. We're doing this late night tonight. It's like Christmas Eve, dude. I could barely sleep the night before playoff hockey starts.
dude, I'm so gassed.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you want to dive into our other notes real quick?
Yeah, we got a couple other quick things to go over before we close this one out. Joe Pavelski hit 1,000 points. So did Claude Giroux the same night. Awesome story. Pavelski's going to get a chance to play in the playoffs here. 7th round pick. And now, 2-time Olympian. Probably one of the greatest American players. Definitely of the millennium. What a career for him.
Certified Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Both of them. 100%.
I know we did a little segment a while ago where it was a Hall of Fame yes or no, and it's got to be yes.
Yeah,
I
they
think
were both in there.
I think we said yes, and it's a for sure yes now.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Pavelski, he's getting his shot at the cup right now. I wish we could say the same about Claude Giroux, because I do really think he deserves a shot at it. But just two guys that are great guys by all accounts and staples of this generation of hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just like the guys that when you think of like solid hockey when you were growing up, it's those guys.
Yeah.
Logan Couture was also a face you always saw. Brent Burns. Like when you talk about those players, those are the guys that just come to mind instantly.
Yeah.
They're up there with the Sidney Crosbys and the Ovechkins in their own light.
Yeah.
Just like the unspoken beauties, if you will.
Absolutely. Both of these guys, I would say, have lived in the shadows a little bit of other people through their careers, and they both had just outstanding careers.
Yeah, for sure. And they've been such great complementary pieces that have brought in so much for their organization and have just taught so many younger players like just wonderful habits and routines that paid dividends. Like, it's the blueprint for what you would want as an organization.
Absolutely. So shout out to both of them. It's great to see both of them too at this point in their careers really being like contributors. First of all, they've both had good seasons and mentors as well. It's great to see both of them still being effective both on and off the ice in the NHL. Shout out to both of you.
100%.
Yeah. Next up, I mean, going to the opposite end here, going to the WHL. We're on Bedard watch now.
Where's he gonna land?
20 points in 7 games in his first round. The Regina Pats losing in Game 7.
Ouch.
I'm pretty sure the team had 26 points and he had 20 of them.
That's insane.
Or 26 goals and he had 20 points.
God.
Unbelievable.
That's disgusting. Like,
I don't know that I've ever seen a hype train like this. Like, I don't even think McDavid had this.
Name a player more clutch right now. Ever.
I'm going to be so devastated to see him
go to Arizona.
Wait, what are the actual odds? Because we have those obviously set in stone now. I don't really want to see him in any of these teams.
Arizona at 7.5. You may as well just call it 100.
Dude, and this is the thing. Okay, so the Canucks have like solidified that they get the odds. Obviously, like they're in the race at 3%, and like I try to consider myself a very reasonable fan. Like I try not to get too high or too low on the Canucks at any time. However, I'm going to be devastated when they don't get him.
Dude, look at these streaks. Are you kidding me?
Buddy, I literally dreamed that we got Connor Bedard.
How'd it feel?
It felt fantastic. And then I woke up. I'm actually though, like I'm dreaming about this stuff. Anaheim though, as much as like I don't want to see Connor Bedard in that gross brown and orange jersey. Yeah, you gotta respect losing 13 in a row to end the season.
That's dedication, man.
The penultimate tank.
Nobody tanks in the NHL. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, you have to respect that. You have to.
Yeah, there's no way that any team is this bad.
Yeah.
Like, this is willing failure.
Yeah.
Like, this is willful ignorance at this point.
Absolutely.
There's no way that you have Zegras and McTavish playing on the same team and you can't even muster 1 win out of 13 games.
All right. Boston, we'll give them a little shout out. We all know how amazing they are. Highest single season point total in NHL history. Wow. At 133. Just a ridiculous stat. Obviously, you can't era adjust. We all know that. Yes, the Habs in the 70s played less games, yada, yada, yada. Still, this is just an amazing stat. Like, it really is.
Oh, 100%.
In a hard cap league.
The absolutely historic season, and I just absolutely hate Boston, so I've been ignoring it, but you can't ignore greatness like this. Like,
no.
It is what it is. It's a great season. Congratulations.
It's the same way I feel about the next guy we're going to talk about, Jonathan Toews. That's how I felt about the Blackhawks for a very long time. Can't stand him. Don't like thinking about him. But it's his last game.
I like Jonathan Toews as a person, but his game always bored the hell out of me. I don't know. He was just not my type of player. But
yeah,
what an admirable career so far. The dedication to the franchise.
Yeah.
Truly, the captain goes down with the ship.
Truly.
The white flag is waving.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and he's, I mean, what a legend. So he was 22 years old when they took home that first cup.
Wow. I didn't do anything that remarkable at 22.
I'm not doing anything that remarkable now.
Got our own mugs.
We got mugs, baby.
Online.
We got hats. We got
Sticktalk.com.
hoodies. Sticktalk hockey, baby. Okay, well, yeah. I think that's all we got.
Put like a little website like right up here, right above my face, so like you can click it or whatever.
Yeah.
A little marketing promo. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all we got. Oh, I wanted to give a little like cookie to the Devils fans out there who's obviously tuning in, because as historic as a season as Boston had,
yep,
the Devils had their most winning full season yet at 52 wins, and that's remarkable in itself.
That is remarkable.
I suffered for too many years not to just highlight that a little bit.
100%. No, that's an impressive record, man. It really is. Devils had some great teams.
Yeah, and it's promising. I'm looking forward to this Rangers series, man. That's another like little piece of confidence I have going into it, where it's like a 52-win season, man.
Yeah,
hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we're gonna be catching that for sure, buddy.
Yeah, I'm super stoked.
All right, well,
so there's this team in the Victoria Island Ball Hockey League.
Yes,
it's a ball hockey league out of Victoria, BC, as you may assume. It's a very well-run league. It's setting standards all across Canada. They keep their league fees incredibly low, which is awesome. They're all about the players. They get back to the players all the time. They stream all the games, well, as many as they can with the equipment they have. Just an incredible organization. Right now, they're doing their provincial qualifiers. Provincials are being held in BC, and there's a under-20 team that is actually competing in the men's league this year. They've entered into the Div C bracket. The Victoria Vipers. So you have a bunch of kids, ages 17 through to 20. They have one 20-year-old. The rest are 17, 18-year-olds. And they're poised to make a push for the provincials right now. So we're going to be covering that story.
Yeah, we're going to have some really fun stuff coming on that front. We're going to have their coach, Paul Smith, on for an interview. And he's also really involved in a ton of other aspects of the community with hockey, which is awesome. We'll let him get into all that. And yeah, we have lots of stuff coming for that. It's going to be great.
Yeah, big voice for the, I believe it's Vancouver Island Minor Ball Hockey and Ice Hockey Associations. He's connected everywhere. He's a great voice. I was talking to him the entire game. He's just so insightful. He's really helpful at just breaking down what they're trying to do, a bunch of their different strategies. So I'm really looking forward into getting into some of these different storylines as they go along. And yeah. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that. We'll have lots of announcements coming down the pipeline. And that's it, man. That's all I got.
Enjoy your week. Enjoy the hockey. This is the best time of the year. We're Stick Talk Hockey. Leave a rating if you're on the podcast app. If you're on YouTube, drop a like. We appreciate it so much. Thank you, guys. Keep your head up.
Keep your head up. Boom.
Stick Talk. Stick Talk. Stick Talk. Stick Talk. Stick Talk. Stick Talk. Stick Talk.